Nick speaking, and welcome to this live stream, nice and early on a Sunday morning. What the hell am I doing here doing hobby? Well, I work on Sundays, and every Sunday morning I use the time before work to hobby. It's just my thing. It's a good opportunity for me to get things done. And of course I'm painting my Annihilation Barges, and today I'm starting the green. Hello everyone who is in the live streams. So far we have Jar, thank you Jar for joining, and Malignus the Undying King, who says Necrons. Apologies if my voice is a bit funny today. As you can imagine, I've only just woken up. I have my cup of coffee here to keep me going, and I have until about 20 past 9-ish. 9:30 like max, but yeah. And as I said, this is usually when I get a fair amount of hobby done in the morning, so I thought I would go live. If you could let me know if the sound is working all okay. Hopefully it is. Good morning Jonathan, how are you? Right, so we've got my wet palettes here. Let's get cracking, so I don't want to waste any time painting, because my fiance is currently in Cannes and trying to get these done before she gets back. We'll see if we can. So the first colour I'm going to use is Caliban Green. And yeah, I'm going to get painting. Now obviously yesterday was 10th edition day, the 10th edition release, which I'm going to talk about more in a bit. I hope everyone successfully got their box that wanted to get one. Overall, it seemed a pretty decent release from what I could see. Well organised by GW, so that was good. Right, now what size brush am I going to use? These are my favourite brushes. So I have a 000, I have a 0, a 1 and a 2, and this old one is just a Games Workshop layer 1, which, as I'm only doing some layers, I think I'll just use that. Sound levels are okay, good stuff. Let me move the microphone slightly closer. There you go, that might help. Right, touch of water. I desperately need coffee. So yeah, I thought if I go live at a different time, like early in the morning, I might catch a few different subscribers being able to join the stream. So that was one reason, and as I said, the other reason is I'm by myself at the house. Well, we've got Necron Girl here, but I'm going to get my magnifying glass out because I'm an old man, you can't really see very well. That's better. And what I'm going to do is just paint the weapons where I've got the grooves, because I need this colour in the grooves. I'm just matching in my old paint scheme. So I'm going to paint, even though it's only the grooves that I want this colour, I'm going to paint the whole thing because it's just going to make the next colour go on a little bit easier. And I'm not too worried about being as really neat here because I'm going to have to touch up this area anyway. So yeah, release day. Did I get my Leviathan box set? Yes, I did. And as far as I can see, most people did. As I said, GW did quite well. So for me, I mean, actually, I was working yesterday, so that wasn't great. However, I very luckily had Richard on my side, so Richard went to GW, our local store in Portsmouth, early. He got there about 8:30. They opened at 9:30 to do the queue, and then obviously pre-orders went up at 10. So he got there at 8:30. He was about third in the queue. I got to work early, and then because I work fairly close to Games Workshop, so I met him in the queue, gave him some money. and left him there. And bless him, yeah, stood in the queue and got his pre-order. We got some freebies. We got the tokens. We got a very cool Tyranid coin. Yeah, Tyranid coin. That was great. But also, I know I was at work, but I work quite near to a computer. I thought to have a go and see how the Games Workshop website was sort of doing. Morning, who is hyped for 10th? I am Jay. And I'm finding the drip feeding of all army rules frustrating. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's good or bad. I must admit, it is a bit frustrating, but then again, I suppose they're just trying to build the hype up, aren't they? So yeah, I thought I would test out the Games Workshop website. So what's that on there? That's just a bit of paint. So I went onto the website at 9 minutes past 10. So I thought I'd just imagine I was somebody who was just slightly late to the party, but not really late, and just see what that did for me. So obviously, if you went on the website, you would have known, but they had this queuing system. Effectively, the website was down apart from this queuing system. So if you were just a normal shopper today, not looking for 10th, you would have struggled to buy anything because you had to go in this queue system. And I went in the queue system. It said I had over an hour to wait, and it worked out at just over 3 hours in the end. It gave you a 10-minute time slot to order your stuff, and it only allowed you to buy 2. Now, as soon as my time slot came up, I just clicked off because obviously I didn't want to waste anyone else's opportunity to buy it, so I just clicked off very quickly. It was more of an experiment really, but I thought that was pretty impressive. All the stores seem to have enough stock, and I've heard nothing but good reports from everyone. So unless you've got a horror story to tell me, seems like it was successful. I went on there last night about midnight, and they still had stock for pre-order. So yeah, it's really good, very good. Now I was actually going to go live last night, but I got back too late, so I went round my eldest daughter's house with her boyfriend, with my mum and a Necron girl, and we had a takeaway, and we ended up playing on the Wii. We were playing Mario Kart, and now I'm not that familiar with Wii, but we played a game, like a board game, and then you had little tasks to do. You had to collect the stars. I'm not sure what it's called. Anyway, we played that, and then by the time I got home, it was about, I think it was about 11ish. So I thought, no, it's a bit late to start to do hobby, so I just set the live stream for this morning instead. Now I'm potentially going to go live tonight as well, because I'm definitely going to be painting later tonight. I'm curious if you're planning on using Annihilation Barges. Possibly, yeah. I mean, as I've just got them painted, I will probably use them to start with, because I always like to use a unit I've just painted if I can. So they'll probably be in my first list just because I've got them painted, for no other reason. But yeah, obviously I've got 4 now, so they're all magnetised. But effectively I could have 3 Annihilation Barges, or I could have 2 and 2 command barges. I probably would like to get another 2 more, and another 2 ghost arcs as well. But this is it for now. So at the moment I've got 4 ghost arcs, 4 Annihilation Barges, and they're all magnetised. I'm hoping to get the lion and his retinue when my mother travels to the UK to visit my brother. Excellent. Whereabouts do you live? The lion is probably the most exciting thing in recent 40k for me. Yeah, oh, fair enough. Obviously it does nothing for me. This brush is playing all over the place, so it's not the greatest brush in the world. Well, probably because it's a bit older, that's all. Not because Games Workshop brushes are bad, they're actually half decent now. But I do prefer to use the Winsor & Newton brushes, that's my favourite brush. Series 7. Quite interesting, there's a gap between that Gauss thing. Let's have a look at my original, just make sure I'm painting it the right colour. That's interesting, that actually looks black in there. Surely I wouldn't have painted that black. I'm just looking at my old model. It does actually look like I painted it black. That's rather neat of me, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to have to go back and paint that black then. Obviously I painted my original too quite some time ago. Probably about 10 years ago. So I'll paint this one black and then I'm going to have to blacken those and then repaint them green. You could probably not really see the difference, to be fair, but obviously I know it's different, so that counts. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back on those two. Oh well. South Africa, awesome. Apparently a leak on Reddit claiming that Eldar and Necrons will be S-tier armies. Also the reanimation protocols will be more varied through your turn. Interesting, okay. Gives your Necron something to chew on. Indeed. Hello from the US. Hello B. How are you doing? The magnifying glass looks handy, I got to say. Yeah, I need it now. I never used to. Used to see everything really, really good. And then I started using the magnifying glass just for small pieces. And then I got spectacles. I had those like cheap £1 ones first. Then I got these varifocals, but I really need the magnifying glass as well. And it's got a little light in it. I just got this from eBay. It wasn't that much, I think like £20 or something. But it's, yeah, pretty cool. Right, we're going to do the Tesla ones now. Always looks like I'm putting it on quite thick, but I obviously have watered the paint down, so it's not as thick as it looks. What's the one unit for Necrons you're hoping will be good or great in 10th edition? Possibly something you want to have in a list. Oh, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. Maybe destroyers again, locust destroyers. Be good to have them back again. But I wouldn't necessarily want something to be. I think there's nothing worse than like an auto-include, auto-include stuff. In an ideal world, it was good to have a nice big selection of different units to use, which are good, rather than being locked into something. So it's like when destroyers were really good in, well, I think it was 8th edition, So I spent the whole of 8th edition with destroyers in pretty much every list, unless I was just playing something for fun, you know. I mean, there are some units I play in almost every list just because I like them and they offer sort of good tactical abilities, like Wraiths. You know, Wraiths aren't necessarily the best units in the world, they're not necessarily auto-take units, but I do use them in a lot of lists because they do, you know, they help towards winning the mission objectives. Not because they're like a uber good unit. Do you know what I mean? I would like to see a model refresh on the Nightbringer and the Deceiver. It would be awesome if they released the Outsider from the Dyson Sphere prison. Yeah, and obviously both of those Catans are resin at the moment, so no doubt there'll be a plastic sculpt at some point because GW are obviously getting rid of their fine cast. So it's going to happen. I think it's just a case of when. My voice is a bit funny this morning. That's literally because I've not long woken up. I find the model of the lion quite disappointing. Somehow it's boring. Not as ugly as Girly Man, but still not exciting. We have Navani Productions in the house. Hello. How you doing? If you don't know, Navani Productions did my Necrons theme tune that you see on my showcase videos. He also did my Necrons Christmas song, which if you haven't seen the Christmas video, definitely check it out. But yeah, drop him a sub if you haven't, because he's a fun guy. Do you ever miss the old days when we only had like 5 viable units to choose from, like in 3rd? I do miss those days, and I actually played the 3rd edition Necrons about a couple of months ago, whereas I basically built a list using only the units from that codex, and played Richard against it, and we used some old missions. They were 4th edition missions, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun actually, and obviously the variety that we have now is great, but there is something to be said about those old rules for sure. Okay, I'm going to use a smaller brush and put this black into the middle that I painted over. I'm doing fine and dandy, thanks. Still working on remake of the intro. Excellent, yeah. Be cool to have a refresh of that, but everyone seems to like the original one. Now, I don't need much of this. Just need a tiny bit. Put that on there. I'll give you the lion sculpt feels static. At least they gave him a helmet. I rarely like the face sculpts. Okay, well let's have a look at the stats. We've got 12 people watching, thank you everyone. We've got 10 likes, so most of you have liked the video, thank you. Well, it's not really a video, is it? It's a live stream. If you're unaware, then I am doing a charity raffle at the moment. There's a link in the description, and I'm giving away a Triarch Stalker and 3 Necron Wraiths painted by Siege Studios. £5 a ticket, going to a good cause, going to Mind. So yeah, if you're up for that, that'd be fantastic. If you're not up for that, for whatever reason, then maybe you could just share the giveaway, the charity raffle video for me, because that would really be great. I'm halfway to my target that I set when I initially... Which one was it? Oh yeah, when I initially did it, which was 100 tickets. So I've sold 50 tickets so far, which is pretty good considering it's been just under a week. But yeah, halfway there. just put this into the middle, then I'm going to have to touch it back up again. The green is like the major event as such for my Necron paint scheme. I mean, doing the silver is all just dry brushing. The green is what sort of finishes it off, and then I just do a little bit of silver here and there just to give it that little extra colour as such. That's that one. As to Necrons, I'm hoping the monolith comes back from being just a bullet magnet, and the paint jobs for the raffle are really nice. Thank you. Yeah. Oh yeah. The minis do look awesome. I really like the control panel on the Triarch Stalker. It's got like a scanner on there, and the line, like the freehand on there, is just so good. Yeah, monolith, that'd be cool. It does seem like it's going to be quite good, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Space Marines, of course, are getting lots of good stuff. It would seem, lots of re-rolls. Twin linked and re-rolls, and then their chapter tactics. Right, so that's the black done. Let that dry, then I'll go back over with the green. However, I want to do another coat of the green on the guns anyway, so we'll go back to that, and that will be that piece done. Oh, I need to do the wires on these guns. Now, I'd normally use the next colour up. However, when I first painted these, I was into wet blending, and I did 3 layers of wet blending on here, rather than 2, which I do now, because it's such a big wire. I wanted to make it look cool, and as I said, I was like trying to experiment with wet blending, so I do actually need to paint those wires that colour as well. Good morning, James, how you doing? We would love to stay and chat now, but that YouTube actually sent me a notification in time. Sadly, I need to head off and do some landscaping in the garden. No problem, I appreciate you popping in. It is an unusual time to go live. I doubt anyone in the UK is going to be here. If you are in the UK, let me know. I want to see new rules and law on Anrakur. He seems to align somewhat with Zerek's agenda. Yes, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what they actually do with the characters. Oh, I've missed that side and that side. Okay, not quite as well done as I thought. Let's go back to this paintbrush. Okay. Can't believe I missed both sides. There you go. It's not unusual, is it, when you paint something that you miss it? That's why I always double check everything before I move on to the next stage. So 2 weeks now until I get the new Tyranids, 2 sets of Leviathan obviously. Richard bought one and I bought one. We're going to split them. Now, do you think I should make, or think we should make an unboxing video like we did in Domitus? We made one for my channel, one for his channel. Obviously I was looking at Necrons then. I'm going to be looking at Tyranids this time. Do you think it's worth it? I mean, there's been like hundreds of unboxing videos already where pretty much every YouTuber in the world, apart from me, has a Leviathan box set already, built, painted, on YouTube. So is it worth it? I mean, do you guys want to see that? Especially if there's no Necrons involved. I'm a bit dubious whether to do it. Richard seems to be wanting to do it. Potentially could just do it and put it on Richard's channel. I'm not sure. However, it's another way to look at it. It's just good to have some contents for the channel anyway. So I'm not sure. I'm in South Wales. Awesome. We need Trazin with some kind of ally rules. Yeah, that would be good. I'm hoping that Imatech will have some rules that fit his stats. I would love Imatech to be much better. He's one of my favourite characters. I used him a lot when he first came out, when he had every turn lightning strikes. That was fantastic. So if it was before your time, basically when you had Imatech the Stormlord on the table at the beginning of your turn, you rolled a dice for every unit that your enemy had on the table, and on a 6 they were hit by lightning. I can't remember exactly what damage that did, but I do remember you hit your opponent, so then they basically took some damage, and it was a lot of fun, and you got to do it every turn, which was really nice. Then they basically nerfed it to once per game, but I remember playing Ace Face when it wasn't nerfed. One of my first games with him, he had his Tyranids, and I had my lightning strikes, and I was playing my Flayed One list. That's right, he was in my Flayed One list, because he helped pop tanks, so he could pop a tank, and then the Flayed Ones could come in and assault the unit that got out. But anyway, yeah, he's playing his Tyranids. And I rolled the very first turn with Ace Face. I rolled like 4 or 5 6s on his Hive Tyrants and his Harpies and stuff. Yeah, then that really scared him. So he started to target Imatech as quickly as possible. Right, let them dry, and in the meantime I'm going to paint the wires, I think. If you do it in relation to the threat the Tyranids unit pose to Necrons, Richard can do the Marines. The good old days. Howdy, Mr. C. How you doing? Top 3 things I want to see. Good death marks, because all of the character importance. Yeah, agree. What the Catan stats powers do, and if they get like lone operative, which I'm sure they will. I'm sure they won't be able to join units and stuff. And what the characters do. Yeah, the characters are going to be quite important, but I think also maybe even more important what they do, but what price they're going to be, because if we're going to need a lot more characters than maybe we currently do, then we're going to have decent points costs on them, especially to the fact that when a unit's wiped out, that's it, your character's just standing there. You can't like join another unit unless we have some special rules. Now we don't know, but there might be some special rules that our characters can maybe like join another unit of the same type. So if your warrior unit's joined, you can then join another warrior unit, you know, probably not an immortal unit, but another warrior unit. I mean, I don't know, that might be just asking way too much, but it just popped into my head, that idea. So I can hear Necron Girl getting ready. She's coming to work with me today because she's going to meet her mum, going out for the day somewhere. It's my alarm to remind me to wake Necron Girl up. I had a phone call from my fiancée in Cannes. She's gone away for the weekend for her mum's birthday. Seems to be having a very nice time. She has hurt her ankle though at the moment. She she tends to sit on the sofa with her legs up on her feet, and she got up and her foot was numb, and she put her foot down and her ankle went like over to the side, so she, I don't know if, yeah, it went. I never know which camera to look at when I do stuff like that. So yeah, she's hurt her ankle. But yeah, no, she seems to be having a good time. She loves eating fish, and that's what she's doing over there. She's eating lots of fish, and I don't eat fish, so she's making the most of it. She's also been eating snails as well, for some reason. I have no idea why. It's like the other day we went out to a Thai restaurant, and she ordered mussels in a curry, like mussel curry. So whilst I don't like fish, I'm getting a bit braver. So I said I'd just taste one. So I tasted one. I said, "Oh, it tastes like." I said, "Oh, it don't taste like fishy. It don't taste too bad." She said, "Oh yeah, no, it tastes like chicken." It's like, well, why don't you just order chicken then if it tastes like chicken? So we had an Indian last night. Which was very nice. And we played Mario Kart, which I did actually manage to win one of those games. Well, we had like three games? Three tracks, three races. And then, yeah, I didn't win them all, but I did win one, so that was good. And then we played this game. You go around a board and you've got to collect stars. And I went on this like lucky star, and I had to pick like a acorn or something. And I chose one with a big bad boss in it, and he stole all my money. And every time I went past him, he stole all my money. I had no chance of winning. But Necron girl, she got like 4 stars and won it. Yeah. Right, where are we? The cryptics of the 5th, 6th edition were incredible. They were. And you could put them in ghost arcs. Couldn't you shoot out the ghost arc with that lance weapon? Yes, really hoping we get major points costs on leaders. Allegedly, according to the Games Workshop website, where you can sort by keyword, yeah. Tomb Blades are scouts, yeah. Flayed ones are infiltrate, indeed. We'll have to see how accurate that is, because unless it's changed, the Tesseract Vault was infantry on there. But no doubts, flayed ones will infiltrate because it's what they do. And obviously scouts for a pre-game move, pretty good on those Tomb Blades as well. And well, I said it the other day in the live stream, but I think maybe Tesla Tomb Blades might be quite good because you can advance and have no reduction in ballistic skill, which is probably why they took the assault weapon away from our Reaper guns on the warriors, maybe, possibly. Feel about new reanimation protocol with stuff like ghost arcs and reanimators doing who knows what. It will be interesting. Yes, we definitely need to find out more. Flayed ones has infiltrate, makes sense. It does, and they used to have it in the past, and it was a bit disappointing when they lost it. In the past they had infiltrate and deep strike, and then we lost infiltrate just for deep strike. Okay, where are we? Let's go back to these ones, do the second coat, and then these will be done. I am a bit of an early bird. I'm always up early, even on my days off. My alarm goes off at 6:30, and then I usually get up about 20 to 7. And then I'll make the sandwiches and everything for school, and then we leave here about 10 to 8 o'clock if Necron goes behind time. So then that gives me about 45 minutes to catch up on like YouTube comments and stuff. And then on my days off, I would normally be up early and doing hobby before my fiance even makes it out of bed. I would have done a good few hours of hobby, so, or making videos, because obviously video making does eat into my hobby time quite dramatically. I would get a lot more hobby done if I wasn't, if I didn't make the videos that I make. One reason, I suppose, which is quite good about the live stream, like hobby live stream, is at least there is some content there whilst I do hobby. It's past 3 AM here, so bed calls me. Well, glad I got to say hi for once. Enjoy tent. Thank you, and have a good sleep. Tesseract Vaults getting infantry would be silly. Also, I wonder if we will get another Catan when the Index Codex drop. Rumours are rumours, of course. Yeah, well, GW did make a comment, didn't they? So in one of the, I think it's that Warhammer Fest, someone said, will we be getting, I can't remember what the question was, but the answer was, oh yes, like will both of the Catans be like updated? Something like that the question was. And the answer was, who said there's only 2 Catans? Or something along those lines, instigating there be possibly another Catan. Now, to be fair, I think I'd rather have the 2 old sculpts redone than a new Catan and keep those old sculpts as well. I don't know, I have nothing wrong, I like the old ones, nothing against them, but so obviously mine are metal and the new ones are fine cast, so I'm assuming that we will get those 2 redone at some point. So whether it will be this edition or not, I don't know, but to wait and see. It'll be interesting to see how many new miniatures each army gets. I mean, it could just be 1 or 2, it could be a whole range. We just don't know, but obviously we had a lot of miniatures last time, so I don't think I'm expecting too many this time. I really hope Death Marks will get rapid fire. Block Heavy 1 was a terrible nerf, yes. I predict precision and devastating wounds, quite possibly. I wish they would expand the Necron novel range. I have not read the novels, I know I need to, but I haven't. Death Marks need more shots for sure. Time to bring 30 Death Marks. Technically, there's like 5, right? The 3 named ones, the Transcendent Catan and the Vault. Yes, at the moment there is, yeah. But obviously only 2 are resin. So yeah, Nightbringer, Deceiver, new sculpts needed. And then it would be cool to have another one as well. Just because we like Catans, and yeah. I wish we could play more Catans like the old days. I suppose if there's anything that I would like, not because for power gaming reasons, but just for fun reasons. I can't remember which edition it was, but when you could take, I think it was 5th, you could take like loads of Catans. Yeah, I had a full Catan army. I think I had 6 Catans in it altogether. That was cool. That's when they got rid of the named Catans. And you just had a Catan listing, and you could change the war gear options for each one, so you couldn't duplicate them, so you could still have like unique Catans with different abilities. So repainting this and leaving black in the middle piece. Which isn't too difficult, to be fair. At first I thought, oh, why did I do that? It makes sense because they're supposed to, in my eyes, represent green rods, these. Because they should be green rods. Games Workshop, what'd you get rid of them for? No, I appreciate why they did. I liked green rods. There you go, that's it. That's one. We have Dave Dog. Hello Dave, how you doing? Did you give Richard cash to pre-order your Leviathan box? I did, I gave him 200 because I wasn't quite sure if there's going to be any extras come out, but there wasn't, so yeah, I gave him my £50 back, and I'll keep those for the index cards. I think the index cards are coming out on the day we collect the box sets, which is a bit weird. You would have thought maybe next week would be better for index cards, but they should add Valgol, the Lord of the Flayed Ones, as a new character. It would be cool, although we do have a lot of characters. Will they all survive the next codex? That's the question. I bet Richard is tucked up in bed this morning. He was up early yesterday. And obviously he's on medication as well, so I know he needs rest, you know. Okay, that's that. My all-time favourite faction is Necrons. Agreed. It's the best. Necrons. Since I started mid-8th, and my favourite units are Death Marks and Destroyers. A Death Marks character or leader would be neat, but I'm excited for Destroyers in 10th. If they're reroll 1s to hit and are led, they could be hit on 2s. Yeah, Destroyers could be back again for sure. Right, so we need to do second coat on all of this now. It's a nice short day for me today working. Quite like Sundays because I get to hobby in the morning, and then I get to work early, to be fair, because of the way the car park works. So I'm usually at work a bit early, and then I'll just like check out YouTube or something at work, or do some thumbnails or metadata for videos or whatever. And then we finish at 4, so yeah, I'm usually back home about 4:30ish. Then I'm going to spend some time with Necron Girl and then go live in the evening. Or I might do the opposite and go live earlier, finish earlier. I don't know, depends how I go. I was thinking that in my next live stream I might talk about like my journey in 40k, because you know I've got quite a few new subscribers who've probably never heard it before, even though I've said it quite a few times over the years. But yeah, talk about like how I got into the hobby, how I chose my armies, um, just my general experience over the last 20 odd years. I thought that might be quite a nice topic. And as I said, quite a few people probably haven't heard it before. So, what do you think? Do you think that's a good topic for maybe later today or tomorrow? Right. Thing is, you think I don't need index cards, but they will be valid right up until the last codex release, right? Possibly, it depends, because they did say that obviously as they make changes, so when they do that, they're going to do point changes, aren't they, every 3 months, and they're going to do the sort of data slate changes every 6 months. So I'm assuming that the data slate changes could change the index cards. So I have a feeling the index cards will be where they're going to try and get you to basically spend money each time. So they probably release new index cards each time, because they know that people like me who can get free downloads would much prefer to actually have the cards. I need some more paint. Okay, let's do the wires. Is anyone painting at the moment? Good morning, Jimmy. How are you doing? I am currently painting my Annihilation Barges. I'm doing the green first coat, or the first colour. We are using Caliban Green. I like the Praetorian Executioner mentioned in the Infinite and the Divine. Damn, you work Sundays, that is tough. I do, I work Saturday and Sunday. I work all the weekend, every weekend. However, I do have Wednesday and Friday off. So I do get days off in the week, which is quite nice. However, at the moment I am on a 6-day stint because I had to work Friday last week, so I'm doing from Thursday to Tuesday this week, which just happens to be the weekend that my fiance is away that I've got to work. So yeah, it's limiting what I can achieve hobby wise, but there you go. And I can't remember if I did a second coat, so we'll just do one more anyway, just a quick one. This colour is only going to be left in the recesses anyway. I'm going to paint over with the mute green to give me that nice bright green that I have. Painting my Doomstalker and 2 Doomsday Arcs. Excellent. Getting ready for 10th, eh? I think Doomstalkers will definitely be back. One advantage of painting something you've already painted, even though mine was like 10 years ago, is that you've got your colour scheme locked and loaded, so you don't have to think about how you're going to paint something. It's there, so you just have to copy what you've done. So that is good, which makes things a bit quicker. When you don't know how you're going to paint something, you've got to work it out how you're going to paint it, maybe experiment on a test piece and that sort of stuff. And that's what I'm slightly concerned about with these new Tyranids, because these two new Tyranids are so detailed. So I need to work out, even though I've got my paint scheme, I've got to work out how I'm going to paint them. I've got some green on the silver there. That's okay, we can sort that out. Let's see if we've got any silver on my wet palette. There you go. Sorted. Hi Necron fans, how are we all this morning? We are with a croaky voice because it's too early. Hello Pete, how you doing? Yeah, I was going to go live last night, but I got back way too late. Alright, that's them done, that's done, that's done. Got to check these now. And then that will be this colour done. Rather delicate area to paint, so I'm just holding my breath while I do it. Quite warm again, although it's not that sunny today. It's a bit almost rainy. Yesterday though was just so hot. Nothing a coffee can't fix. I totally agree. I even held on to have a cup of coffee for the stream. Usually I get up and like kettle straight on, but I held back. And then when I set the stream last night, I looked at the stream before I went to bed just to see if I had any comments and stuff, or whatever. And they said like live in like 6 hours. I thought, hang on, I think I better go to sleep then. I don't sleep like loads. Don't need a lot of sleep, or just prefer. I don't enjoy sleep. Some people like really enjoy sleeping, but I don't. I just think like sleeping is like boring. Like it's almost like you're wasting your life being asleep. Sleep when you're dead. And the truth is, I probably just have an active mind. So as soon as my eyes open, unless I like go back to sleep, if my mind starts working, then that's it. If my mind starts like thinking about stuff, then there's no chance. Although I must admit, as I'm getting older, I'm finding I'm getting a little bit more tired in the evenings than I used to. My concentration levels aren't quite as good as they used to be. Okay, that's that colour done. Excellent. Right, let's just move that out of the way for a sec. So, we're going to need the next colour now, which is Warpstone Glow, and I'm going to paint all the orbs. This will be the first layer of the orbs, and on these guns I'm going to blend these here, but I'll do that at the end, so that will be last. So I need to paint this orb on the front, these pieces there's quite a lot to do with them. Just checking out how I painted the old ones. So I'm not going to be painting these at the moment, so they can go back in, and these. So yeah, I need to paint the ends of them. Right, let's get some paint on. What time is it? 8:30. I've got about an hour. 1 cup, 1 is none, 2 is 1, a pot is barely more than 1. Yeah, I've just 1 at the moment, but don't worry, I'll be drinking a lot more. I'm the type of person who would have a cup of coffee just before they go to bed. Which, every time I say that, everyone goes, "No, really? How can you do that?" That's probably why I don't sleep much. No, I sleep okay even if I do have coffee. It doesn't affect me that much, probably because I've had way too much. I am going to quickly change the water. I wouldn't normally, but as I put that metal colour in there, I just want to make sure it's a nice clean water, so bear with me 1 second. I'm back. I'm harder than a heart attack. Right, so let's put some water in this green. This is basically just a stick. It's an old paintbrush that has no bristles left. Okay, so we're definitely going to need the magnifying glass. And we're going to need a smaller brush than that. To be fair, that brush is not that great now, so that will come out of my good pile and go into my bad pile. Okay, so we've got to paint in there. Oh, I've got some water in there. Let that dry. We're going to need quite a small brush for that. So let's go for a 0. Is that going to be small enough? Should be okay. This is where sometimes I can struggle to talk and paint if I'm painting something very delicate. Right, the other side. And then we need to paint in these like grooves at the back. Always paint one side and turn it over and do the other one rather than trying to do it all in one stroke, because it just makes it neater. I will do 2 coats of this colour on the small areas, and then the big areas will have 3 coats. But the nice thing is that I know once I've done this, once the green is done, I'm pretty much finished. All I'll have left to do is a bit of gold work, and then just do the blacking in of some of the big areas on the silver. So basically not much left once I've completed the green. And the green's the fun bit as well, because just, well, it's a fun colour just to add. It's just like almost like highlighting it. So I'm currently watching that series on Netflix with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Bar is it called, I think. Really enjoying it actually. It's really cool. It's like quite funny. A lot of action in it as well. Good characters. Good sort of theme. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. Obviously, I'm a huge Arnie fan. You know, I grew up watching him at the cinema. You know, every week with a different Arnie film. Anyone else watch that? Currently waiting for The Witcher season 3. He's not doing it no more though, is he, that Henry Cavill? So season 4 is going to have the brother of, well, I can't remember his name, the guy that played Thor, Hemsworth. It's going to have his brother playing The Witcher. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Obviously the Karate Kid, waiting for that. Right, let's move on to this one. So, we've got all of those bits to do. Quite small, these bits. And then of course the big event is going to be Strange New Worlds Season 2. Can't wait for that. And obviously Discovery, which is going to be the last season. I'm not sure if that's out this year or not. Can't remember when that's out. Let me make sure I'm getting these painted the same way. Yeah. That's the other good thing about having paint which is fairly watery, is you can just wipe it off if it doesn't go on there that well. So I'm currently watching Voyager with Necron Girl. Finally got her into Star Trek. So I was watching it myself, and I was on season 7, and she happened to watch a couple of episodes and then seemed to get into it. So I said, right, you've got to start watching it from the beginning. So she said, okay. So we're on season 3 at the moment. What I tend to do is I'm always watching Star Trek, and I tend to rotate through the different series. So I'm re-watching Voyager because I've watched it now twice in a row. But I also then started watching The Next Generation again. Encounter at Farpoint. Right, that's those. Now, what about underneath? Now that is underneath, so what about on top? Nothing. it's just that there. So I'll repeat that on this one and then come back. I started season 3 of Picard last night, but I couldn't get into it. Oh, watch it! Watch it! It is awesome! So good. It is really, really good. That new director's done a fantastic job. Terry, no, I can't remember who it is, his name now. The director. I was going to say Terry Matalas, but he's the Star Wars one, isn't he? So yeah, going to be quite busy. So Monday, no plans apart from work. So we'll probably go live Monday night, and then Tuesday work and then snooker. So I play snooker on Tuesdays. And then Wednesday will be my first day off in 6 days, and I'm gonna probably have to do some housework because my fiance will be coming back on Thursday during the day, and she's coming back with quite a few family members. Her mum and her mum's friend and her dad's girlfriend, and they're all coming down because it's my fiance's birthday weekend. So we're celebrating that on the Saturday, which means that I might not have any time to make videos when the new index cards drop. Yeah, I have to play it by ear, but those videos might be a bit late. I might be late to the party, which is annoying, but just I can't do anything about it. So no doubt like Planet 40k and All Specs Tactics and everyone else are going to have their videos up within like 2 hours, and mine's going to be probably, well, I don't know when I'm going to get the video done. You've got a bit of an overspill there, so just take that off. No, I don't really want to. Ah, yeah, I know what I'll do. So hopefully it'll just be a case of people were happy to wait for my videos because it's me. But yeah, I might be missing a trick in terms of like the YouTube algorithm. But there you go. There's just nothing I can do about it. Because I can't make videos while everyone's here, you see, in the house. I haven't discussed this with my fiance yet, but I did consider mentioning whether or not I can maybe go to my mum's house on Friday and make the videos at my mum's house. We'll see how my fiance feels about that, because obviously we haven't seen each other for a while. I'm currently rewatching Battlestar Galactica. Okay, I've seen the original series, but only when I was really young, and I haven't watched the new ones. I thought Voyager was fun, but implausible route they seemed to be taking to get home. Also, I wanted the upgrade to the ship to remain each week and not be returned to Federation space. Interesting. I'm currently watching The Muppet Show with my 6-year-old. They've got a new thing coming, haven't they, the Muppets? I'm not quite sure what it is, but I think there's a new thing coming. we will watch Muppet Show, Now You're Talking. Next episode is with Alice Cooper. I know Prince was on the Muppet Show once, wasn't he? Very long time ago. Right, let's go back to this one, and I'm going to paint that side. So, yeah, I've got to paint those pieces and all along there. Right, okay. Let's do it. Who's your favourite character from the Muppet Show? I always liked Bert and Ernie. No, that was Sesame Street. What am I talking about? The Muppet Show. Oh yeah, Kermit the Frog, wasn't it? And stuff. Yeah, okay, so I can only think of the Sesame Street. I'm thinking the Cookie Monster. Used to like him. That's Sesame Street. So I suppose it's got to be. Used to like those old two men in the on the balcony in the box. Oh yeah, Sesame Street. That was. I remember watching that quite a lot when I was young. Big Bird and Mr. Snuffleupagus. Of course, when I was young, I was watching programs that probably a lot of you never even heard of. The one that always stumps everyone I talk to is Bod. Do you remember Bod? It's early 70s, I think. I was born in 72, so I must have been quite young. And then I used to like Mr. Ben, and then the Finger Muppets. But Bod was so basic. It was just like a cartoon of a person in the background who just walk forward. And there's some really cheesy like music, like "Here comes Bod." I'll be very surprised if any of you remember Bod. Beaker and the Chef. Hello everyone, hello Lance, how you doing? I watched the Orville and it's awesome. I really enjoyed the Orville. It took me a couple of episodes to get into it. But once I did, really enjoyed it, and obviously they gradually dropped the humour as well. So by the time season 3 came around, there wasn't really that much humour. But I thought it was awesome, yeah, really, really good. So I'm hoping we get a season 4. I do class it as Star Trek. It's like part of Star Trek to me, because it's just that good. And it does feel like you're watching Star Trek, so for me it's pretty much a Star Trek series. Right, that's done. It needs a second coat, but that's that one done. Let's come back to this one. Very small pieces. I can hear Necron girl getting ready, so at least I don't have to go and wake her up. recording, I've got to keep an eye on the time because I don't want to be late for work. To be fair, I won't be late for work because I don't have to be there till 10:30. But as I said earlier, because of the way the car park works, staff get to go in from 9:30 onwards, and then it's open to the public at 10. I'd like to get there before the public starts to go in, which is why I usually leave here about 9:30. So by the time I get there, it's about 10 to 10, so I can just go in, get the space to park. Annihilation Barge isn't istum. Got my coffee and toast, excellent. Oh, I paint 3 Annihilation Barges myself at the moment, almost done. Nice one. Didn't it turn out that Gonzo was an alien? Can't remember that bit. Good morning from Germany. Hello, Gothead or Gothed? It's Gothed, isn't it? Necrons. Is it me that am I the only one that just holds my breath sometimes when I'm painting something like really delicate? Quite hard to talk when you're holding your breath. Okay, so that is also ready for the second coat. So that's them two done. That's them two done. That can go back in there. Right, let's see what else we've got to do. So I've got my Annihilation Barge here. This is one I've already painted. It's got that orb at the top. The orbs on the dashboard, his hand. Obviously the symbols and the eyes. There's an orb under here to be done. And that's it, so it's not too bad actually. Orb at the front. Okay, so let's get this one here. So it's the orb at the top. I think I can move up a size of brush, it's a bit small. This is a size 0, so let's move to a size 1. Leave that for a minute to dry, do this one. Oh, that's better, yeah. Just the first coat anyway, so it can be rougher. These guns have so many details. Yeah, they do. When painting orbs, not generally, haha. Hold my breath so much I often go dizzy. It's too early for my small smartphone. Yeah, when I play snooker, sometimes I catch myself holding my breath on a shot. Which is fine until you start potting a load of balls and you realise that you're like out of breath because each shot you've been holding your breath. So I have to try to remember to breathe normally when I'm playing my shots. Okay, so that was that one. As I said, that's just first coat. I think that's it on that one, because everything else is off of the actual barge at the moment. So that's that done. That's that done. So now we've got the front piece. Ah, that's a bad idea. Got these two front pieces to do. Let's get them done. I think I'm going to put them onto a paint pot just to make it easier. 1, 2. There we go. Good morning, Forge. How you doing? A very nice sunset emoji. And we're back to the smaller brush now. Not that small, 000. Don't need that. 0, here we go. These are small, these ones. Either that, my eyes are just getting worse. Funny enough, I do have the opticians on Wednesday. So when I said I had nothing to do on Wednesday apart from tidy the house, yeah, I do actually have the opticians in the morning. Just let that dry before I touch them again. And that doesn't need anything, that doesn't need anything, that doesn't need anything. Ah yeah, there was an orb underneath, so let's do that. I did forget that. An orb underneath. One. No one ever sees underneath, and whilst I've magnetised the gun that goes underneath, no one ever sees that either, but I know it's got the right gun when I play it. Plus, if I do need to look, I can just check what guns it got, just in case. Alright, so that's those orbs. Let's get these back out there. That has an orb on it that needs painting. Right, I've got those two to do next, so let's go back to here. Now it's sunstroke time. Seasonal allergies have almost finished me for now. Yeah, it's quite bad at the moment, the pollen. Thanks to medicinal cannabis, I'm only allergic to hemp. All other allergies just vanished. I need a smaller brush for that. That is just too big. I am going to use the 000 for this. It would be nice to get one layer of this green down on everything before I finish this morning, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to do that, so we'll just see how it goes. I saw a few YouTubers were doing live, like let's watch the pre-order fiasco yesterday, but there wasn't one because it all worked out really well. Well, I've not heard any bad stories anyway. Okay, so that's done. And now I'm going to go onto these orbs. Do a rough one first because it's quite a big orb. This will definitely need 3 coats. Tenth edition looks simple and nice, way more streamlined. It does. It looks a lot better actually. Yeah, I like the wording that they've got. So hopefully it will be, like you say, just a bit easier to play. It looks quite similar as well, but just like you say, simplified, not simple. 2 weeks to finish or restore my projects before Tyranid Invasion begins here. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, get these done as well. I was queuing online for 2 hours and then got my order, so all good. Yes, yeah, I mean I got mine in store, but I did go onto the website. I went onto the website at 9 minutes past 10 and it was about 3 hours before I got an opportunity to order. And they're all in stock and still in stock now, so yeah, GW have learnt. They've learnt. It'll be interesting to see how much longer the actual box set will be available for. And that's an indication of how many they actually made, isn't it, I suppose? I mean, I don't know, or maybe this set isn't as popular as the last one with the Necrons in. Don't know how popular Tyranids are as an army. It'd be good to see some stats like that, wouldn't it? Like in sales stats for the different armies. Like which armies are the most popular? No doubt it's Space Marines. But then sort of a list of popularity in terms of sales. Obviously that's not data we're ever going to get, but it would be interesting. Nine o'clock. All I have to do is clean my teeth, get changed and then leave, so that's the orbs first coat done. That's all done. That's done. I've got the warriors to do and the orb on his hand. And the orb on his hand. And those guns don't need doing. And then got those pieces and those pieces. Right. That's what I've got left to do. We have about 20 minutes, so hopefully I might get the first coat done. Let's do these. I want to do the exact buttons painted this colour, so that's pretty much all the orbs. Okay, some of them are buttons, some of them are orbs. Let's move that out of the way. Okay. I'll go paint some myself, have a nice one. Thank you for popping in. Let's hope Games Workshop have turned a new leaf over, fingers crossed. Did the Element Games 900 Leviathan boxes sell out? I don't know, I didn't check out them, I just literally went to Games Workshop. I know I could probably have got discounts, but I just supported my local GW. Plus, I'm going to put them on the expenses anyway for the YouTube channel. They go on the channel expenses. So the more I spend, the less tax I've got to pay anyway. So it's always good. Cheerio. Oh no, you're not going, you're saying goodbye to someone. I'm currently painting my heavily converted overlord of my dynasty. He is flying and huge, and I'll play him with the rules of the Deceiver. Awesome, I'd love to see that. Have you got it posted anywhere on Instagram or Facebook? Maybe join the Wargamers Unification Facebook group of mine and post it in there. I'd love to see it. Okay, now let's have a look at this barge. So it's just the Necron symbol on the front. Definitely hold my breath for this. Okay, that's that one. That one. And next we have the orbs in the hands, which I'm going to need a small brush for. Wait, I put it on Insta. 1 minute. Awesome. Yeah, if you tag me, IDICBeer 40k, that'd be great. After this, I'm going to watch the back rep you and the captain posted the other day. Excellent. Yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy that. We've got another back rep, our last 9th edition one coming tomorrow. But yeah, the one we posted the other day, that was the Tyranid one, wasn't it? He's got this orb in his hand, so it's quite hard to paint. Going to paint it in between the fingers. Not too bad, to be fair. Oh, I'm quite chuffed because it looks like I'm going to get the first coat done of this green on everything. apart from obviously those wires, because I'm going to be wet blending those. I'll do those all together. I think there's a bit of the orb at the back I can see. Go back to this one. Okay, that's that. Right, next and lastly are the drivers. So we got one body, there's the other one, and then the other two are in the barges, which is going to be a bit more awkward, but there you go. So we're going to do the Necron symbols and the eye. Take good care, Jar. Have fun. Take care of my child now. Okay, yeah, enjoy your day. After this I'm going to watch the back rep. Oh yeah, done that. Right, come on the neck, concentrate. Necron symbols on their chest plate. The way I do this is I paint the top on the first coat, and then when I go for the next coat I'll paint down the sides. And we've got an orb in his headpiece. Right there. That's that one. Now, what did I do on his eye? So small. Right, there's a little orb in one of the side pieces, and then a proper eye. So let's do the orb. No, not with that amount of paint on. Too much paint. Yep, done. And that's the symbol now. That one. And now, lastly, the two in the barge, which is going to be a little awkward, but this was glued together, or half glued together anyway, so there it is. But it's work in progress. Thank you, I will check that out in a bit. Element Games link to Leviathan Reads coming soon. Interesting. Right, let's do the symbol first. So yeah, this one was all glued together, so no choice. It did have an arm missing, so I had to convert one of the arms. Used a warrior arm and cut out the gun, reshaped it so it looked like a fist. So he's basically smashing his fist onto the panel in frustration. Damn, it's those orcs again. Okay, now his orb's not going to be too bad because it's quite big, but I'm not looking forward to dotting that eye piece. Right, I need to sort my eye out, it's a bit watery before I paint that. Right, come on then, last bit, just dot in this. And that's the first coat done, and I'll be happy with that. That'll be a good morning's work. Come on then, steady as she goes. From that side, and then from this side. A little bit shaky, but luckily it was before I hit the orb. Perfect. Cool beans. Oh, that's good. First coat done. I'm happy with that. It's time, 11 minutes past, so I've got time just to pack up a bit and then get ready for work. So I'll stay on the stream for a little bit while I just pack everything away. If you have any questions, then now is the time to ask me, and I will be going live again later this evening to do the next coat on these. So yeah, hopefully you might be able to join me for that as well. Right, let's start putting this all back in. That one over there. Now one of these is different. Yeah, that's got like a broken top section, so that is for this one, because that one I had to basically give some TLC to. One on there, there. These are over here. That one's there, and then one there. Which I can tell you which is which because they've got different magnets. Yeah, so that's that one. That's that one. There we go. Done. Okay, let's put the paint lid on and just give the brushes a bit of a clean up. Always feels good when you achieve something, doesn't it? One and that one just there. That's those brushes. Oh, I've got those two front pieces. I'll leave them on there because I'll probably need them again later. And what I do is I put some tissue, just kitchen roll, over the top of them just to stop the dust getting on whilst I'm away at work, etc. That's that. Right, let's have a quick look at your Instagram post, shall we? Nice tidy workspace, Nick. I'll try my best. Did you tag me on Facebook or Instagram? Insta, you said, yeah? I've got some comments on there. Instagram. Don't have a tag. Martin K. Let me search you. Martin K. There's quite a few coming up. Well, maybe the notification just hasn't come through yet. And there you go. So I think that's it. 1/4 past. I can clean my teeth, get ready for work, and that will be it. So I will see you later today, maybe. If not, have a fantastic day or evening or whatever time it is in your country. And thank you for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate it. Catch you later.